Dear participants, so welcome back to our conference. We continue day 3, session number 1, Technology and Engineering Management. So first, please, paper ID number 236. So you have 7 minutes for this presentation, and after that, Q&A session for 1-2 minutes. If you're ready, please get started.
Hello, dear participants. My name is Obakirova Alida. I work in Astana University. My title of article, Analysis of the Transfer, Characteristics of Refractive Indices and Nonlinear Effects in Optical Fiber using the example of chromatic dispersion. Yes, due to the large length of fiber optic communication lines, the location of the main element of the data transmission system, quartz glass, is not always linear. The welding and joints of the optical fiber, which immediately accompany the technical cycle of operation, leads to constant layering, coupling, cassette, inevitably leading to increased losses of radiation into the environment. In addition, the modulated transmitted signal in the glass core and shell will be accompanied by ray rate scattering caused by the heterogeneity of the density of the material. Both of these facts affect the choice of the length and infrared radiation that will be used to transmit information. Let's consider the analysis of the study of optical fiber transmission characteristics, the dispersion of the reflective index, and for pure quartz glass is shown in this table. Quartz glass molecules become source of secondary spherical waves under the action of infrared radiation. These coherent waves excited by another radiation determine the folded white file. Let's determine the path and group velocity of light near the nominal wavelength of 1,300 nanometer. The group velocity associated with the refractive index n and the wavelength lambda has the form. You can see these formulas. We use these formulas for our calculated. For a given wave in 1,300 nanometers, the group velocity turned out to be less than the Hertz velocity, which corresponds to the region of the normal dispersion. As an example showing a change in the force dispersion, characteristic of different changes near the wavelengths of 850, 1,300, and 1,550 nanometer were taken corresponding to the transparency windows in the infrared range and widely used in optical telecommunication systems. The next slide, please. Here you can see refractive index using the optical refractive method. This our calculation. Next slide, please. And the dynamics of the values for the maximum optical return losses for the maximum values for the reverse reflection for coupling connections with the number of cassettes and for different levels of signal quality. Depending on the polishing of the optical connection is shown in this figure. You can see 4 different levels. Next slide. Here you can see this formula, which we also used for calculation. Considering that the frequency of the light is as this formula, accordingly it changes for frequency causes a change with light length. This also certain group index of reflection of the physical material for polymer glass. The determination of the parameters of the maximum activity of the of multi-mode path, which is a modular cassette solution, has the following work. Here you can see. Next slide, please. Here you can see this table shows the values dispatch of values for the maximum transmission path length, taking into account the characteristic of MMF factors without additional measures to compensate for the restriction. In this side, in the right side, you can see table shows the various dispersion values for the maximum transmission path length, taking into account the characteristic of CMF factors without additional measures for the description. In conclusion, we can say that it is shown that the simple Python consignment for test and group velocity moves more smoothly and in fast quite length of 1,800 and 1,550 nanometer, and this parameter is more identical with an increase in wave length. Wave packets for variables in this approximating wavelengths are fluid in modern systems. One of these factors is scattering of radiation in the information transmission path, calculation of the relative and absolute values of which are given in this publication. The analysis shows that the operation of modern lasers at high wavelengths is a high priority. The second factor is the loss of radiation to the environment. Is also related to the wavelength of the transmitting source and the bending radius of the fiber. And the total losses of these two factors are much lower at the maximum wavelength by about 58%. The resulting average quadratic variance for different multi-mode path lengths are 60% higher than the different parameters for single mode ones. To compensate for such losses, it's advisable to use an multi-mode fiber width gradient refractive index. It significantly compensates for the four types of energy losses mentioned.
Okay, thank you. So first question is, I see that you've done some experiments here, like what kind of software tool you use in order to kind of validate your model?
When we did our experiment in a previous slides, you can see if you open. We used the reflectometer for refractive index for find this refractive index.
Yeah, so basically this is like software from the specific tool, yes?
Yes.
What kind of software you used? Like, for example, could you please open the next slide? And for example, to get these numbers on level 1, level 2.
Yes. Here, my other after did this calculation here more. Now this calculated.
Okay, and last question. Could you open the second slide, please? Yeah, this one. I see that you have already like some numbers predefined, so you made some calculations in order to put these numbers. For example, in order to define the group velocity, there are some coefficients. So how you determine these coefficients?
In which formulas?
So for example, formula number 3, you see, like let's define the group velocity. There is a number like 1 minus and some coefficient 0.00. Yeah, this one is.
So in this experiment, like our different version for the flight velocity is more higher than this this our average. It's like that's right calculation. Yes.
Okay, thank you. No more questions. Let's move to the next paper. Next paper is ID number 263. So you also have 7 minutes for the presentation and 1-2 minutes for questions. What's your name? And please share your screen in order to start your presentation.
Hello, my name is Aidira Makizhanova, paper number 263.
Yes, please start.
So can you give me permission to demonstrate my screen, please?
Now you can.
Yes, please share your screen.
So do you see the screen?
Yes.
1 minute, please. So hello again. So my paper topic is real estate price management through fuzzy time impact factors using MATLAB development company's approach. So solving the problem of maximizing the real estate development company profit is inextricable linked to building a quality marketing strategy in which real estate price management takes into account not only static but also dynamic factors. The latter in particular includes the time impact factors, the consideration of which is complicated by their instability during the implementation of various development projects due to their dependence not only on a dynamically changing consumer preference and the state of the local real estate market, but also in the course of construction process. So with this in mind, a possible solution to this problem may be the fuzzy set theory usage and the consideration of the specified factors in the form of fuzzy numbers using information technologies, in particular MATLAB for relevant calculations and modeling. So the conducted literature review showed that despite the existence of a number of scientific studies related to the topic, the problem of time impact factors consideration in real estate management of development companies remain out of sufficient attention. In addition, despite the use of information technologies in scientific research, their results do not offer applied digitalized, in particular MATLAB-based real estate price management tools for construction industry enterprises, in particular real estate development companies. So therefore, for the purpose of conducting marketing analysis and researching the price policy and approaches to real estate price management of various development companies, a sample of primary residential real estate prices during the implementation of selected development projects was collected. To neutralize constructive and regional factors influencing the real estate prices, the sample includes only similar development projects, namely multi-story residential complexes, the implementation of which took place in the same market conditions and in the same time range, namely in the city of Kyiv in 2018 and 2021. The fragment of collected data set with economic and statistical indicators determined on its basis is shown here. So based on conducted dataset research, it is possible to separate, classify, and structure the fuzzy factors influencing the real estate price from the development company side. So the time input factors deserve special attention, the structure of which is shown here in this slide. It is worth noting that a different format of the specified time factors was initially envisaged. Thus, the collected data were initially arranged concerning the construction period calculated in months. It was planned to investigate the interrelationship of price changes and their correlation with calendar construction plans. Unfortunately, the destabilizing factors due to the COVID-19 pandemic made a dynamic adjustment to the calendar planning of construction production, and it didn't directly depend on the developer's will. So also during data collection, it became clear that construction organization, depending on their needs, capabilities, and the characteristics, can plan both the general construction terms and terms of each construction stage differently. In other words, the duration of respective works and the entire construction of various objects is influenced by a number of objectives and the subjective factors which within the framework of the collected sample are quite difficult to take into account in such an amount that wouldn't give the risks of significant deterioration in the calculation accuracy. Considering this, the time factors construction production is represented not in absolute but in relative to each specific development project value. Thus, the time factor of descriptions of aggregated construction production stages, standard for the majority of objects, and the fuzzy relative percentage value of each construction stage. So at the same time, the exposure period of the real estate sale offer factor didn't change and is measured in days, showing a similar policy of development companies in assessing the attractiveness of real estate for investors and considering for pricing. So highlighted the time factors are represented as fuzzy numbers, each of which has corresponding linguistic term descriptions and the membership function parameters. So membership function for input variables are given in corresponding tables. Considering the large number of initial observations, the fuzziness of statistic data, as well as dynamic nature of time impact factors, which complicate or even makes it impossible to use only static calculations. The solution to the problem of real estate price management is considered by the authors to be possible only with the help of information technologies. This study process to use MATLAB for these purposes. So thus the fuzzy inference system of MATLAB allowed to obtain membership function plots for variables shown here, as well as to build and implement a MATLAB-based fuzzy inference algorithm, particularly in determining group input factors or real estate prices. So as we can notice, the developed fuzzy inference algorithm uses mainly Gaussian membership functions as a product method for implication and the defuzzification using the centroid method, common for the purpose of economic forecasting and the growth management. Analysis of input variables impact on group impact factor allows to track trends in the level of real estate.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay, so let's maybe move to the conclusion. The purpose tools approaches for the use of fuzzy time input factors by development companies in real estate pricing process and suitable for flexible economic forecasting, risk management, and optimization of development projects investment flows. So the scope of application of the purpose approaches depends on the development needs in a specific time period, and provides the possibility of their use not only strategic but also tactical planning. So the use of information technologies, in particular MATLAB, for implementation of calculations and the simulations allows digitalize and automate the acquisition of economic information necessary for the prompt adoption of informed management decisions with a minimal expenditure of time, money, and the human resources. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. The first question is, I see that you use MATLAB as a primary software tool, yes, for calculations. Have you considered any other software tools?
Actually, no, only
We cannot see
MATLAB
you.
methods.
Could you please turn on your camera?
Do you see me?
Yes, we see.
Actually, no, my colleagues use only MATLAB methods.
Okay. Next question is, I see that your data set is from 19 till 21, yes? 2020.
Yes,
So,
during COVID.
and you mentioned that you considered COVID period, yeah, in this like real estate prices. So could you
Yes,
bit more about this?
I didn't get your question. Please, can you
Oh.
repeat?
So you mentioned that COVID influenced the prices of real estate in Kyiv for this period, yes?
Yes.
So could you tell more about like how this was how the prices?
So considering the impact of COVID-19 pandemic was important because it introduced significant uncertainties and disruption for real estate market, which affected construction timelines, demand the properties, and overall market dynamics. So the pandemic led to change in economic environment that were beyond the control of developers, such as delays in construction and alterations in consumer behavior towards real estate investment. So recognizing these impacts allow developers to adjust their price management strategy appropriately, taking into account the alerted market conditions to mitigate
Okay.
risks,
Yeah.
align with new market realities.
Okay, yeah, it's enough. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no more questions. Let's move. The next paper is ID number 278.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, please share your presentation and
Yes.
start your.
Do you see my presentation?
Yes, we see. Please start.
Okay, thanks. Good afternoon to all participants of the conference. My name is Igor Basenko, and I presented to your attention the work information technology of the agro-industrial complex design object organization by a team of authors from Kyiv, Ukraine. The research is aimed at organization support for solving a multi-criteria problem of choosing the best alternative form from a set of affections objects.
I'm sorry, we cannot see your slides changing, so
I'm sorry.
You can actually stop presentation and you can just change your slides in PowerPoint directly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we see it's changing, yes. Yeah.
Okay. The research subjects are agro-industrial complexes at the pre-investment stage of construction projects. Slide. The agro-industrial complex is a complex production and economic system that comprises a group of technologically and economically interconnected objects whose activities are cyclical in nature. The ICE is a complex system whose operational activities under normal conditions are conducted in a dynamic stochastic external environment. Currently, Ukraine is forced to operate under a condition of uncertainty caused by not only by natural end markets, but also by man-made external factors as a result of Russia armed aggression. The destruction continues to this day, and a significant precision of the destroyed object belongs to ACE structures. The urgent need to provide the country's population with food determinants, the relevance of rapid restoration of both destroyed and damaged ACE objects and logistic roads. It is necessary to consider that as a result of man-made disasters, mines, bombing, movement, and work of heavy military equipment caused by hostilities of the territory of Ukraine. The selection of ACE object, the implementation of construction projects from a set of information model is a multi-criteria expert evaluation task. EET, which expert must now solve under condition of uncertainty. Second, next slide. The analysis of works devote to the problem of choosing organizational and technological solution, OTS, in construction has shown that the main methods of the decision support methods on the list. In our work, we have considered a multi-criteria decision analysis, allows performing a multi-criteria analysis of exciting factors and possible risks, taking them into account in the model and assessing their impact on the implementation of investment and construction project, ISP, making the most rational and effective organizational and technological decision at the beginning of the ISP implementation, taking into account the cost, timing, and scope of construction, considering previous experience in the formation of the model. For the formal representation of expert evaluation task, a tuple is used, ACRECP, where a set of objects as a set of containers, set of optimal principles, C set of goals, E set of formal characteristic of expert, P system of preferences of the expert group. EET is defined as a pair R and A, what is called a decision problem if R and A are not given a priori and can vary, a selection problem if the set of objects A is given and the optimality principles are various, and optimization problem if R and A are given. The set A consists of the n objects to be compared with each other, formulas on screen. Its objects can be described by a set of m parameters. Experts are able to solve EETs, expert evaluation tasks, without formal representation, but development means to solve large dimensional EETs requires formulating expert knowledge. Each ACE object can be represented by a point of some parametric space. The problem of multi-criteria optimization is the vector formulation is formalized as formulas on the screen, where a set of objects, m number of parameters, and else. As a rule, multi-criteria tasks do not have a single solution. Therefore, an extremely important aspect of ensuring the pre-requesting for the reliability and safety of ACE objects is to justify the choice of one facility from a set of acceptable alternatives. For today, the vast majority of ISP in the ACE are aimed at construction at a low level. This is explained by the fact that so far they have been aimed at the development of agriculture in the direction of design and development field monitoring and management system. Among the technologies aimed at construction, there are building information modeling, automated construction process management system, construction monitoring and quality control system, virtual reality, spatial reality system, and more other. The multi-criteria task of selecting the best OTS on ACE objects from a set of acceptable alternatives is solved by comparing and expertly evaluating ISPs that's effective objects. There are two approaches to evaluating effective objects, cardinal and ordinal. In this paper, the ordinal approach is used to compare effective objects. The technology of organization, the support of the EET decision, first of all, requires the creation of the knowledge-based system. Slide. After categorizing the user request.
1 minute left.
Yes, okay. The interface engine applies the rules from the knowledge base, figure on slide, to the data from the fact base to generate a set of acceptable decision. On this slide, you can see table and example of classification and the description of OTA's data in ACE objects with object description example. On this slide, you can also see when forming the knowledge base, it is necessary to take into account the group dependence of the objects of the ICE and when deciding to consider at least one object of the group, it's necessary to consider the entry group. In conclusion, first, the research of information model tools has shown that influence attention is paid to the pre-investment stage of a construction project, namely the means and tools that form the determinate organization technology solution for ICE objects. Second, the proposed system, unlike that exciting ones, is able to take into account a set of factors affecting the construction of the particular facility, and thus will be effective in selecting one facility from a set of acceptable alternatives. And third, the justification for solving the selection problem is based on the analysis on numerical experiment with the information model of both ICE objects and soil models. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. So the first question is, so basically your model is based on multiple criteria analysis, and in average, how many criteria need in order to make a decision?
Sorry, I can't answer this question. It's area of work another after. He cannot connect it. I can't answer, sorry. Okay.
And the second question is, you used like different IT tools, yeah, in order to kind of validate your model, like multi-criteria model. What kind of IT tools used in your research?
We looks only one tools, IT tools. It's BIM, Building Information Modeling, Autodesk Revit. Only this, because it's research only started, and we try another in the next work.
Okay. For example, for BIM modeling, if you want to kind of develop your own models, can you make it like by yourself, or you have to somehow integrate with this BIM software?
Yes, we want to integrate is in BIM, but only started, and it's a first work in agro-industrial complex, and we don't know what we do next.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good luck with your research. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next paper is ID number 255. Please turn on your camera and start your presentation. ID number 255. Hello? Yeah, please switch on your camera. Yes. Yes, nice. Hello?
Hello? Do you see my presentation?
Yes, we see your presentation. Please start your presentation. You have also 7 minutes and then 1-2 minutes for questions.
Hello, dear colleagues, hello, dear conference participants. I'd like to present the topic conceptualizing the ICT project management in the sustainability context. This study is dedicated to the roles and opportunities the ICT play in pushing the sustainable development goals. The problem has been considered in the context of applying standards for project, program, and portfolio management for pushing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Our focus was on analyzing ICT project management methodologies. One is we know the digital technologies are driving for sustainable development. The impact of ICTs in terms of sustainable development goals has led to meaningful transformation in the knowledge system with project and program management. In particular, GPM Global P5 standards for sustainability and project management, GPM P5, developed. It proposes the integration of project management approach for sustainable development in terms of people, planet, process, product P5. A methodological addition to GPM P5 is projects integrating sustainable message PRISM, which incorporates tangible tools and the message to manage the balance between find resource social responsibility and delivering green project outcomes. Therefore, an integral assessment of sustainability operation of each project, program, and project portfolio should include 5 aspects: environmental, planet, social, people, financial profit, governance process, and technical product. It is not worthy that GPM P5 and PRISM are general for the management of any project or company, and they are recommended for use in any field. In International Organization for Standardization, ISO has recently begun promotion to links between standards and sustainable development goals. ISO standards only partially include sustainability-oriented approach to emerging project programs and portfolio. At the same time, ISO system and software engineer, lifecycle processes, project management notes the focuses on achieving CDG, industrial innovation and infrastructure. The initiate analysis of ISO show the presence of relevant links only which sustainable development goals 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 16. The identified links indicate that the project management approach is mainly focuses on achieving economic impacts, CDG 8, 9, and 12, and to less extent on social impacts, CDGs 11 and 16. While environmental impacts are completely absent, the clear links between project, program, and portfolio management and sustainable development goals in ISO are not included. Therefore, further research needed to explore how this ISO standards can serve is a platform for achieving the CDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals represented by decomposition of sub-goals and correlated with digital technologies. It is important that the context of CDGs 4, 5, 9, and 17 suggest sub-goals on expanding access to ICT infrastructure in the use of IT tools. The achievement of other sustainable development goals involves the use of ICT in the context of the development of innovation technologies, integration management knowledge, transfer, etc. The development of a methodology for sustainable development of
You have 1 minute left.
ICT project management can be built by integrate project management standards. The assessment system should include indicators used ICT tools in achieving, for example, the slate, incorporating sustainability in ICT project management can be at 3 levels: at the project level, in first to improve project management process and increase the maturity of the sustainability development. For the management level, it is necessary to acquire, improve sustainability competence, and the right level is the development of organization maturity in sustainable project management. In the general, the transition to sustainable project management require the development of relevant creative knowledge and the development of soft skills. In general, the proposed research focuses on the conceptualization of the methodology of sustainable ICT project management, requires special in-update scientific profile. The development of a model of integration assessment of the sustainability of the management system seems promising. The assessment tool can present it to the form of the characteristic matrix sustainability oriented of ICT project management processes. The categories of sustainable development P5 can adopted as the main criteria for evaluation: environment, social, financial, governance, and technical. And the application of such a model will be a useful tool in making sustainability decision at IT company. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So my first question is, so when you say ICT project management, so what's the difference in your context between project management and between ICT project management?
Fine questions. Thank you for your question.
So for
If
example,
it is possible, please send me. If it is possible, please send me your question to my email.
okay. So my question is like, there is a project management in general, yes? So like there are different fields of project management, but in your research, you say that ICT project management. So I'm like trying to understand why, like, what is the like specifics of ICT in the context of like sustainability?
No, first of all, another standards for standards which useful we use for project management. New Visa. New Visa ICT project management based on new standard GPMP5, where I see standards for ICT project management, for example, systems and software engineer, I see not correlation, with all sustainable development goals. This
Yeah, okay. And second question is, so let's say in your research, you are mostly referencing like different standards like ISO and so on. But what about like research literature? Have you like considered any like research papers that are doing the same project, the same research as you?
my research or other research.
I mean, like, have you considered other research that are doing the same as you? So, what kind
I
of concept
see-
they use? Yes.
I don't see research focus in other researches. I don't see other research this video project management with gender.
Based on gender?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's it. No more questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your research. Next paper is ID number 271. Paper ID number 271, Genetic Models of Project Management. Please share your screen, switch on your camera and start your presentation. So, okay, ID number 271 is not in the Zoom call and he's not offline as well. So the next paper is ID number 274.
Hello, I will now share my screen.
Yes, please switch on your camera as well.
Do you see me?
Yes, we see you and we see your slides. Please start.
Okay. The topic of the paper is a method for clustering scientific publications based on natural language for the purpose of strategic planning of partnership in interdisciplinary research. The authors are Malika Shamgunova, Andrei Veloshinsky, Alexander Puchansky, and Fayzulin Adin. The university is Astana IT University, and city country is Astana, Kazakhstan. First, I would like to talk about the acknowledgement, because this paper was written in the framework of the state order to implement the science program according to the budget program 217, Development of Science, number AP 1967-8627, with the topic Development of the Information Technology for the Formation of Multi-University Scientific and Educational Communities based on the Scientometric Analysis Theory. The relevance of this academic...
Sorry, but we don't see your slides changing. You can actually stop the presentation and you can change your slides based on just PowerPoint. Or you have to share the whole screen, not just the presentation.
Do you see now the paper change?
Now, yes.
Okay.
This one is.
And the relevance of the paper is that in the realm of academic research, scientists would like to focus on their niche areas, producing research paper of their interest, and it is evident that it is needed to find the thematic content of their research publications, because it is crucial when the researchers want to select the scientific partners. They want to do research in the similar research areas. And firstly is a methodology part. It is a dataset description. So the dataset had a sample size of 13,430 research papers obtained through Scopus API. The affiliation country was set to Kazakhstan. And the first step we made is pre-processing the data. We applied the tokenization to the research abstracts. The next one included the removal of stop words, which are denoted by S in this formula. And also the next one, we calculated term frequency in various document frequency for each research abstract. The next one is dataset clustering. Basically, it's an application of the k-means clustering algorithm with k-means ++ method, which is described by the smart center initialization algorithm to the term frequency inverse document frequency vectorized abstracts. And they are partitioned into k clusters with the aim to minimize the within cluster sum of squares. And the silhouette score was measured for a single data point to find out the accuracy of the clusterization. Here are the results. On the first figure, we can see the Elbow method for determination of optimal K. And the second figure represents the k-means clustered data with principal component analysis being applied to reduce the dimensionality of the data, to view it as a two-dimensional in a two-dimensional space. The next results show the figure 3, which is the distribution of data points across clusters. We can see that out of approximately 13,000 of research abstracts, we have like the distribution of the data points across the clusters, and we can see that the cluster 0 is representing like linguistics and cultural studies, and other clusters, for example, cluster 11 represents economics and development studies papers. Also, we applied separately to the research papers with abstracts related to the subject of computer science. And here we can see the data points before k-means clustering and data points after k-means clustering being clusterized into different themes. Also table 1 shows the cluster number and top 10 terms per each cluster. We also can see that cluster 0 has top terms such as language, Kazakh, Russian, cultural, linguistic, and etc. And for example, we also could see at another cluster like cluster 15, which is has top terms for this cluster is having the words such as water, soil, river, area, lake, irrigation. And here the figure 4 shows the top terms per each cluster, but with the research papers being from the subjects of computer science. The next one are the database schema and microservices architecture. We can see that we are using the Scopus API to retrieve these abstracts. We fetch the data and store them in the table. Then we have a thematic clustering. We are having the thematic tags, which is generated through k-means algorithms. But before the abstracts, actually, they are pre-processed, and only after this step, they are fed to clustering algorithm. The next one, we can see the refutation of scientific publications for 30 selected collective subjects, and also we can see the distribution of collective subjects by class. The next one, we can see the figures, 5 figures for the PageRank algorithm. We can see here that PR stands for PageRank, and then we are having the beta values, which is beta is a damping factor. We are setting the beta to specific values, which shows the importance given like to direct connections over random links in the network. like it's a percentage chance that a user follows links from one page to another. It's a PageRank algorithm, and the lambda here, it is influence of new data points in time decaying formula. We also see the TWPR, which is time-weighted PageRank with also citation intensity. And the x-axis represents like the time, which is around 20 years, because the dataset included 20 years of research papers being published from 2000 to 2021 year. And the y-axis represents the scientific productivity, which are like includes the factors such as citations per paper, impact factor, and so on. And for the conclusion part, actually we consider the natural language processing applied to the textual data, and so then feed it to unsupervised learning algorithm, which is k-means, but we need to also highlight that it is with smart center initialization, which is an improved method discovered by other authors. And also, we clustered the scientific publications from Kazakhstan, and we identified the dominant research topics and potential areas of collaboration in Kazakhstan. Then we have the results highlighted the key areas of Kazakhstani research, and we also developed the time-weighted PageRank method with citation intensity to assess the scientific productivity of collective subjects, and to verify this method, we selected the data from the citation network dataset, and this is publicly available. And the first one dataset was collected through Scopus API, Scopus database. And so thank you, that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. So first question is, you mentioned that you use Scopus API in order to get data from papers, especially abstracts, yes?
Yes.
So how you store all this data and then how you kind of put them in the model?
Yes, basically, we fetched the data through Scopus API key. We received the API key from the Scopus database and connected to Scopus database and retrieved the data to PostgreSQL using the ORM database, which is called SQLite. We actually had tables, like we have about 24 permitted metadata that we can use for the research from the Scopus API. They include the DOI of the papers, EID, ORCID of the authors, and the abstracts, research papers titles, and year publication, year of publication year, volume, and etc. And out of these 24 metadata, we collected the metadata which are needed for our research, dominantly focusing on the authors and papers, many-to-many relationship, because one author can have many papers and one paper can have many authors. And also then we created our own table, which is a clusters table, where we saved the results from pre-processing of these abstracts and applying the natural language processing techniques, and further feeding it to clustering algorithms.
Okay, thank you. And you mentioned clustering algorithms. So what is your model evaluation metric for unsupervised learning?
Yes, the model evaluation method for unsupervised learning, we are actually using the silhouette score, which is determined as an average distance from the ith data point to the other points, like in the same cluster. And we also have a BI, which is the minimum average distance from the ith data point to points in the different clusters, minimized over clusters. So the overall formula is silhouette score is minimum average distance from the ith data point to points in a different cluster minimized over clusters minus average distance from the ith data point to the other points in the same clusters divided by the maximum of these average distances. That's why we are getting the silhouette score, which is ranging from 0 to 1, representing 0 with low scoring points and 1 with perfect 1.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation and good luck with your research.
Thank you very much.
ID number 271, are you here or not? ID 271. Okay, no, and we also have one presentation from yesterday. So presentation ID number. ID number 111. Are you here? ID number 111, Rustem Abdurrahmanov, International University of Tourism and Hospitality. Okay, he is not here too. So I guess this is the end of session number 1. Sure. This is the end of session number 1. So thank you everyone for your active participation and good luck with your research. So we finished. Goodbye.